This is a landing page, this is a landing page, and this is a landing page. If you ever wonder how do copywriters and marketers create these landing pages and make them convert like crazy, this is the video for you. Because believe it or not, it doesn't really have to do with being a great copywriter. It's about understanding something more advanced that every single world-class copywriter know, but beginners totally miss. And in this video, I will show you what those three things are. Cheers, guys. The first thing you need to understand when it comes to landing pages is who you're writing to. And beginner level understanding of this is I'm writing to an audience. I'm writing to somebody in fitness, in the beauty industry. Because gurus will tell you that it's about understanding the psychographics, how old the person is, what their pain points are, what they had for breakfast this morning, and sure, all that matters and will help you. But the number one thing that will determine the success of a landing page is understanding this thing called market awareness, which is how much the person knows about themselves and the problem they're trying to solve. By the way, did you know that this company, each customer is worth about $14,000, which means that those are about 3,000 or 2,000 to 3,000 coffees each person will buy from them. It is wild. But back to market awareness, I will leave it chart right here so you can see it. So it goes from most aware to unaware. So unaware is somebody who doesn't even know they have a problem, to most aware, somebody who knows they have a problem, there's a solution, they know your product and they know your brand, so they're ready to buy. And the way you write to each bucket is different. Now, do not let this get to your head because it's pretty simple. The way we think about awareness levels, when it comes to this concept of market awareness, there's two visuals that you'll need to understand, and that's pretty much it, just so you keep it simple. So you have unaware, this dude right here. This is how much of an idea this person has about the thing you're selling. So since they don't know, your sales message needs to be larger. Now you have most aware, this person right here. This person knows a whole lot about you. This looks weird. This is supposed to be a light bulb, which means that the sales message can be shorter. You need to put a lot of effort. And that's pretty much it. The less they know, the more selling you have to do. And then the more they know, the shorter the sales message can be, and you still can get away with getting sales. So now that you understand awareness levels and how they work, let me show you just two examples because we can go for hours on this and we'll never finish. But here are two examples that vividly describe this thing that I'm telling you. We have this landing page right here, which is a very low commitment landing page. This is a lead gen page, right? And it says how to communicate effectively and transform your life. Copy is somewhat mild, but free access to the 3-part video series. If you want to improve your communication skills, become more influential, and transform your results in business and life. Low commitment, just name and email, and that's it. One more thing that I have to tell you about landing pages is that the power of branding has a huge impact on what you get away with. Like this right here, from a direct response standpoint, is not like the most spectacular copy that you will ever see written. But the one thing that helps Bing Yang is that his brand is very strong. He's been around for a while. He's worked with a bunch of big brands, which helps his branding, and has a massive YouTube channel, massive Instagram account, which allows him to get away with things like this. I also figured that he has a compliance team, which means that he has an attorney on payroll, and then the attorney is reviewing copy like this, so they don't make income claims, lifestyle claims, because that's the thing that can get a company in troubles with the FTC. And that's what happens when companies get pretty big and the brands get big, right? Now we can take a look at another one. We have here a very direct offer. As you can see, this is for the most aware part of the funnel. The title here, end of financial year stage virtual masterclass sale. Like he's literally saying that the headline, it talks about stage virtual masterclass. This wouldn't work on somebody who doesn't know Bing, who doesn't even want to learn how to speak, because they don't even know what this is. But me personally, being somebody who's been in his email list, has bought programs before, I know exactly what he's selling. So when I see an offer like this, it will work on me. So that's why he doesn't even need to do much persuasion here, because I literally can just come here and buy, because I've seen this program before and I've seen it being sold at $3,000, $2,000, and today I can get it for this price. Now let me show you a page that is more for cold market. It's different than every other page that I've seen before, but sure, it starts with a promise, but like you see how much copy there is in here. Also a lot of testimonials, which means that the marketer behind this is very aware that people that come here might not trust this person, so they need to prove it. And plus, the price of this is only $7, I believe. $11.90. So they don't have to do much convincing. You can run ads to this. So now that you understand the different stages of market awareness and also like the kind of landing pages that there are, and now it's for you to understand like what words make it onto the page. And the easiest way to understand landing pages is to think about this in this concept of buyer's criteria, which is an idea that I first learned from Alan Soltanic. This is pretty much what your prospect or your reader needs to see for them to be persuaded into taking the action that you want them to take. And when you look at a landing page, the way I like to see it is that it's just answering questions that are subconsciously hiding in the prospect's minds. And they're not saying it out loud, but your copy says it in a very logical and emotional sequence. It could be through a story, or it could be to a change of promise, proof, and urgency. Now, with the thing that I told you about before around like I'm shopping for a mattress, right? And this is where I tell you like it's anytime you're about to spend big money or you're about to make a decision, do not let those moments go to waste. Journal about it, because those are the things that are going to refresh or going to create muscle memory as you become a copywriter or a marketer. Because dude, once you are in the game, it's pretty easy to get detached from your buyer because you're doing it so much and you started thinking frameworks and maybe you use AI to speed things up and you lose touch with who is it that it's buying from you. So once you get back to becoming a buyer, you get to understand things again. And if you are in the industry that I am in, which is the high ticket coaching space, maybe hop on some calls. Let people sell you, man. Let people handle your objections and your skepticism, because that's gonna help you. So as I shop for this mattress, my buyer criteria is my back is freaking killing me. I paid a PT almost $5,000 already, and it's not going away. But one of the things that we've noticed is that when I sleep, it is as if I am sleeping the wrong way and I wake up with back pain. Also, another thing I've noticed in my thing is that I sleep on my side. So these things are going through my mind. I already paid $5,000 to a PT, and the PT is helping me out a lot, and I feel like it's guiding me to 85% of where I'm at in pain. But the only thing that is in the way for me being like pain free to where I am right now is just the way I sleep, because the only times I feel pain is when I wake up. So now some of the concerns that I have is that when you buy a bed, dude, like you are buying a freaking mattress and I have to carry it up here, which means that once it's here, it's here. Can I get a refund? Like if I don't like it, what if it doesn't work? And has it work for somebody else? So these are the main things that I am concerned about when it comes to buying a mattress. And now and one thing that you should also be noticing here is how I am rarely thinking about what materials the thing has, or how big the bed is, or how much it weighs. I am just concerned about the results. That is what your buyer is thinking about. And there's one more thing that I want you to notice. These beds that we're going to take a look at right now, I have a landing page that actually sold me on it because it's addressing all these things. They are not selling a mattress. Hopefully this is how you spell mattress, is it? They're selling a unique mechanism, because mattresses alone, dude, they're like tables. Like who in their sane mind says, wow, that table, I just need a freaking table, bro. I just need a chair, you know? But the bed itself, the way they have taken that from a commodity that I can just walk into Walmart or whatever it is that they sell beds and pick one from there, $300, $400 instead of paying like $2,000 and up, because I've noticed that there's some mattresses that are overpriced, right? The way they have done that is because they have a unique mechanism, because these beds address back pain and they're targeting a very specific type of buyer, which is the kind of buyer that I am. I already invested in my health. I'm trying to get some rest. I'm tired and I have money to spend. So they are targeting me. They're not just targeting a regular person who just wants to sleep, right? And that is called a unique mechanism. Unique mechanisms have two parts to it. So you have unique mechanism of problem and you have unique mechanism of solution. So unique mechanism of problem is explaining how the problem works and shifting the perspective of your prospect on how it works. And then unique mechanism of your solution is explaining how your product solves the problem in a very unique way. An example of that we've probably seen before in the fitness industry, there is this guy named Kino Buddy, right? And unlike every other fitness program where they just give you 8 meals a day, or you have to be tracking your calories, or you're going to be working out like all day, he has a very minimalistic approach where literally, dude, the dude will eat like 1 meal a day or so, and your workout 3 times a week. And he's like in great shape. It promotes the lifestyle of intermittent fasting. So that is the main problem that he's targeting there. Is the unique mechanism of the problem is for people who cannot lose the weight and might not have the time. Like the reason why they haven't been able to accomplish those results is because you don't have time to be tracking all these freaking calories and making the process more complicated than it has to be. My program addresses that, right? And that's how people make a click that they want to buy. So it's the same thing with these bets that I'm trying to buy, and that's the landing page. So if a landing page is speaking to me and is going to get my money, it has to be checking off these things. Now for this part, what I'm going to show you is the structure of the sales message and what a typical landing page looks like, just so you know how to lay it out. So here we're going to have a video or the VSL, and then this is going to be your headline, and then here smaller text, you're going to have this subhead, and then here you're going to have a button CTA, and then depending on the buyer criteria of your audience, you're going to have proof. It can be testimonials, or it has been featured in different publications. You put that here. The other thing that I forgot to add here is you can put urgency elements around here. You can also have eyebrows. So you have the eyebrow, you have some urgency elements around here. Then you have the headline, subhead, video, and a call to action. So here you're making a lot of claims. A good rule of thumb is that anytime you make a claim, you add proof. So now they understand market awareness, how it works, and the kind of landing pages that there are, and also the structure. Here's one exercise that you can use to get better at copywriting, because even though ChatGPT and all these AI tools can write copy, I've noticed that it is horrible at writing headlines. And there is an exercise that I learned from this guy named Kyle Milligan when I was starting out. He's one of the best trainers I know personally. Not know him in person, but like he's one of the best trainers I know, and you can check out his YouTube channel. So it's this concept of the for you. Any headline that you want to put on a landing page has to have this checked off. So it's unique, useful, ultra specific, it is urgent. If your headline doesn't have check off at least 3 of this, it's going to have a hard time converting. So let me show you an example on a headline that does this really well. So with this example here, we have a typical headline, and excuse my handwriting. So we're gonna assess it and see if it has the for use checked off. This is an exercise you can do every single day, so you can build the muscle memory and how to write headlines and copy that converts. All right, so is it urgent, unique, and useful? So former banking insider breaks silence with shocking news report. This right here makes this, whatever I'm gonna read, unique. And the reason why is because former banking insider is these words right here. Former banking insider breaks silence, which means that I cannot Google this up. If you can Google it, it's not unique. So that's what your headline has to also imply. I see specific here, 3 most dangerous retirement lies brokers are telling Americans today. So I see specificity right here, retirement lies. So that says, I'm about to learn 3 things, and that those 3 things are going to potentially save me money. So that is another U. Is it useful? I would say so, right? Because if I am somebody who's in this stage of my life, I don't want people to lie to me. So I'll live in your nest, saving for retirement. So I would say it's useful. Now, the only thing that I really don't see much is urgency, but saying today, that's an argument for something that is happening today, not yesterday, not last year, but today. So as you can see, a high converting landing page is crossing all these things that I mentioned to you right now. And now you can see how simple this exercise can be as well for you to actually train your brain to understand how copywriting works. We're going to leave the video here, but let me know in the comments if you enjoy this format. Consider subscribing. Have a lot more coming. Literally it's 4th of July today, and by the time I'm posting this video, I will be in El Salvador, which I almost dropped my computer, which means I'll be in a sick ass Airbnb, and I'm gonna have a lot of new content coming up from there as I travel and do some non-profit work. But for now, this is it. Peace.